Hi, today we are going to see Unit 2, Unit 2, Class 1. And in this unit, what are all we are going to see? So here I have given some of the images. But what do you infer from these images? The first image, heat flow from hot body to cold body. And here I have given one thermometer, and here it is a car engine. What all these images infer? What do you think about this unit? Yes, it is thermodynamics. This unit speaks about heat, temperature, etc. So this is the CO of this unit. Interpret the thermodynamic aspects involved in the biochemical process. As you are the biomedical students, you are going to interpret the thermodynamic aspects involved in the biochemical process. And this is the learning outcome of this lecture. So at the end, you will be able to acquire knowledge on basic terms in thermodynamics. So these are all the topics you are going to see in this unit. So now what is thermodynamics? It's a branch of science that deals with quantitative relationship between heat and other forms of energy. The energy can be either chemical energy, mechanical energy, kinetic energy, etc. So the very first basic term is system. What is a system? It is a specified part of this universe under observation. Here, this test tube is a system, and apart from this system is called surroundings. So apart from this test tube is called surroundings. So the part other than the system is known as surroundings. So these two things are very important for thermodynamics: system and surroundings. Next, there are three types of systems: open system, closed system, and an isolated system. So the open system, the system that can exchange matter as well as energy with the surrounding, is called open system. See, consider you are studying and your mom is giving a cup of coffee. That is an open system. It can exchange both energy and aroma with the surroundings. So that is called open system. So that is a very basic example of open system. And coming to the closed system, it is a system which cannot exchange matter but can exchange energy with the surroundings. See, the same mom is giving a cup of coffee and she closed it with the lid or with a small plate. That is an example of closed system. Here you can see the energy, that is the heat, can't exchange with the surrounding. That is the aroma can't exchange, but the heat energy can exchange with the surroundings. So that is an example for a closed system. The third system is an isolated system. The system which cannot exchange matter as well as energy is called an isolated system. See, again, the same mom is giving a coffee in the flask. See, if she gives a coffee in the flask won't change the aroma, that is the matter, and as well as the heat energy with the surroundings. So that is an example of isolated system. So there are three types of system: open system, closed system, and an isolated system. Next, there are two types of properties. One is intensive properties and other one is extensive properties. Intensive properties are those properties whose value is independent upon the amount of the substance in the given system. See, the examples are refractive index, surface tension, density, temperature, boiling point, and freezing point. See, these properties won't change with the amount of the substance. See, if you measure the temperature of 1 gram of the substance and if you measure the temperature of 100 grams of substance, the value won't change. That is intensive properties. And extensive properties are those properties whose values depends on the amount of the substance present in the system. Yes, it depends on the amount. If you measure volume, it measures, and if you measure mass of the system, it varies with the amount of the system. So that is the difference between intensive and extensive properties. Next, thermodynamic process. So there are different types of process are there in the thermodynamics. The first property is reversible process. The process in which the system and the surrounding can be stored to the initial state from the final state. See, this is a basic example, real-time example for reversible process, the expansion and compression of the spring. See, here you can able to see once the spring expanded, it can be restored to the initial state. And if it compresses, after that it can move to the final state. So this is the example for reversible process. And next is the irreversible process. It is a process in which the system and the surrounding cannot restore to its initial state from the final state. It's called irreversible process. See, the example is hot cup of tea. See, here a cup of tea when left alone will never get heated up by its own. Yes, the heat in the tea moves to the surroundings, so it can't replace to its original state. So that is an example of irreversible process. And the next process is adiabatic process. It is defined as in which there is no exchange of heat between the system and the surroundings during the process. See, if you take hot water in the flask, it won't change its heat with the surroundings. So this is called adiabatic process. An isothermal process, it is defined as a one in which the temperature of the system remains constant during the change from its initial to final stage. Suppose in kitchen, if you are heating water at constant temperature, that process called an isothermal process. The temperature of the system remains constant. Okay, so the boiling of water happens at 100 degrees Celsius. So if you boil the water at 100 degrees Celsius, it remains constant during the process. It is isothermal process. The next one is isobaric process. It is defined as the one in which the pressure of the system remains constant during its change from initial to final state. See, in the same kitchen, if you are cooking something, rice, dal, etc., the pressure of the system is initial and final remains constant. That is isobaric process. The next process, isochoric process, it is defined as the one in which the volume of the system remains constant during its change from initial to final state. The best example is bomb calorimeter. And here the volume of the system remains constant. Generally, people will take 1 gram of the substance for bomb calorimeter experiments. So the volume of the system remains constant in the bomb calorimeter. That is called isochoric process. And the next is thermodynamic functions. There are two types of functions. One is state function and the other one is path function. A thermodynamic system can be defined by using the variables, pressure, volume, temperature, and number of moles. A state function is a thermodynamic property of a system which is a specific value for a given state. It does not depend on the path, initial and final state. It don't depend on the path of the system. It mainly depends on these variables: pressure, temperature, volume, and number of moles. Examples again: pressure, volume, temperature, internal energy, enthalpy, free energy. Next is a path function. A path function is a thermodynamic property of a system whose value depends on the path by which the system changes initial and final states. The examples are work and heat. Next is internal energy. It is a characteristic property of a system which is denoted by the symbol U. The internal energy of the system is equal to the energy possessed by all its constituents, namely atoms, molecules, and ions. The total energy of a molecule in a system is equal to the sum of their transitional energy, vibrational energy, rotational energy, bond energy, electronic energy, and energy due to molecular interactions. The atoms and molecules have their own energy, like vibrational energy, rotational energy, and all these things will deeply study in the molecular spectra. In molecular spectra, we can able to see the vibrations between atoms. Okay, the total energy of all molecules of a system is called internal energy. Even we have also internal energy. In thermodynamics, one is considered only the change in the internal energy rather than the absolute value of energy. Okay, people will consider the delta U value. These are the assessment questions expected from this unit. And at last, you can able to acquire knowledge on basic terms in thermodynamics.